Hey everyone, it is May 14th. Um, let's see, have had an interesting weekend. Friday was May 12th. Yep. And on the 10th, it was the 10-month anniversary of um, the accident. Um, so it was really therapeutic. I think I was ready. I haven't been to Old Town Scottsdale, to the scene of my accident. I don't even know where exactly that is down there. I mean, I know the cross streets, Fifth Avenue and Stetson. When you go by there, say a prayer for me, thank you. But anyways, I think not knowing helped me a lot, because Friday night, we went to Kelly's. It happened to be one of the places we went out that night, the night of my accident. And so, and that's like literally between 5th and 6th Ave, I believe. And so um, right up in there is where this happened. But anyways, I found it pretty uh, good for me to not be out with friends who are really, really, just having a good time. It was nice that I went out with my girlfriend, because, she and I could kind of just talk one on one, and just in case I had any random emotions that came up from being out um, in that vicinity, at least I could talk about and deal with her. So that was really nice. I think I was ready to go back there to be able to create a new memory for the area. Um, let's see. Uh, Friday night was also interesting. I am single, um, but anyways, going out, it's interesting. I guess I probably feel, I don't know. I just am not. I rarely get people's numbers from bars. So as far as from a dating perspective goes, so it's kind of like um, I don't put in too much effort when I'm out. I'm kind of just enjoying the time that I spend with friends. And we were actually joking on Friday, because I was like, okay, another new memory for me could be, actually getting a number from somebody here, or at least meeting someone cool to get to know. And lo and behold, suddenly there was a guy that came along, and my cane was sitting in the chair next to me. Um, so with a girlfriend that is attractive, also, I wouldn't think that someone would come talk to me, or especially with the cane sitting next to me. I think people would be intimidated by that. I don't know. Um, and then I kind of do know, because there were some people that, and it's been said fairly frequently, people will literally come up to me and just be like, "You're too hot to have a cane," or "You're too beautiful to have a cane," and it's very, I mean, it's flattering in in a certain way, but it's bizarre, because it's like, I don't know what uh, physical attraction has to do with having a cane, um, and I will be candid about, I think I mean, I'm like a social experiment. Me with a cane definitely makes me realize how discriminated some people can be against, meaning, and also when you're more attractive, people tend to pay attention, regardless of the cane. So even though they might say bonehead comments, or I might feel a bit, I guess if I really went out to meet people at bars, I would feel maybe or a little bit not comfortable, because I now have a cane. I'm not as, I'm not so much as a draw for somebody. But anyways, but it seems that it's just interesting, because it's like, people just say that stuff, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know how to take that, I guess. But it's definitely weird, and it kind of messes with your head, you know. And it messes with my head, but also, like, to be honest with you, it helps me to want to talk about my story more, because if I have the ability to get unsolicited attention, um, then I can share a story and things about drunk driving and the trauma that it causes to victims and their families and friends, and how it impacts. And despite my belief system in God having changed also, you know, this experience has changed me for the better, and so I would like to be able to talk about it and share it, and either connect with people that are going through it, or tell people my story so they can figure out how to try to relate to someone going through it, or if they're affected as a victim, whether directly or indirectly, and affected families and stuff. Like, maybe what I have to say can help people understand what kind of a turmoil it causes to somebody, and the things that I use to get through it. I mean, I've told this to quite a few people, is that when the accident occurred, I mean, I have never been in the hospital, so other than obviously my birth, but I haven't broken anything prior to this. I hadn't. And as far as breaking a bone goes, I don't know what's entailed in that. I mean, I hear my friends going through it and them telling me about it, but I don't personally firsthand have that experience. And then also, I'm used to kind of when you cut yourself, it heals. So, like, I don't really, and people's bones heal, so childbirth, I mean, people get, it's not the end of the world, right? When things like that happen. But with the accident, I mean, I never really 100% was able to fathom, like, what actually happened to me and, like, everything that I broke. And it's only when I talk to medical personnel, or I hear stories about drunk driving, or whatever the case, it's like, those are the times where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. And then what's even more what messes with your mind even more, I'm going to use a cuss word in there, what messes with your mind even more is that you physically look a certain way. I'm doing the best I can with my own therapy. I'm exercising, being careful to drink. I'm very careful what not to eat. I water. It's just, those are the times. Like, those are the good times, right? But it's like I look as good as I could probably ever want to look at this point or stage past the accident. But mind messes with your mind, because 100% that you don't feel the same, and I don't feel the same, and I don't even physically feel the same, and when I look at pictures, I look at a person that was, getting caught up in the rat race that is life, that didn't really value certain things, blessings that I've been given. I see this person I kind of don't recognize. And what's even crazier is that before the accident, so I've had visions and stuff before. I guess you could call it psychic. This is the first time I'm ever sharing this with anybody, but I guess you can call it psychic or whatever. I've known about quite a few things my whole life, and on a consistent daily basis, I, can either guess a song or tell when something's going to happen. It's just bizarre. So anyways, I had known about the accident, that it would happen. I didn't know when it would happen, but I got a vision, I think it was 2-3 years ago. Yeah, probably 3 years ago. And so that was weird. And so it's kind of, it's interesting to have had that and to not be in this situation. But I guess the vision never really freaked me out, because I just knew the gut feeling that it was going to happen and that I'd be okay. So, it was And the way that that even came about is that vision is that I used to always look at my lifelines on my hands because I'm corny like that. Little picturesque cute is. And I used to have a line that this lifeline right in the middle. It actually used to be faded. I was staring at it, though it kind of is still faded a little bit. It's faded, and in my head, as a child, I was always like, oh, that, I know the lifeline means something about longevity of how you live, or I'd heard that, whatever. But then the break in mine, I guess I had just figured, okay, a break in my lifeline means that something's going to happen, I'm going to recover. And so, anyways, a little bit back, my girlfriend was interested in psychics and palm reading and stuff like that, so I kind of just, because I've never really been into that or done that, I just tried it with her a couple of times. I think the first time right before I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, and then because I just needed to hear that breaking up with him was the right thing to do, and that I knew that we were connected, but it wasn't connected in a way that's like the type of relationship that I want for a future husband or his partner. So, anyways, went to them for that before that, and then I'm being specific because there's only a handful of times that I've been to psychics, and I know exactly what. And anyways, or palm reader, tarot card, whatever. So on this day, it was a healer. She was a healer. She read tarot cards and palm reading. And so I allowed her to look at my palm. And I have been to one other lady who is more of like a life coach, an energy worker, a light worker. Anyways, the only reason I had her cards is because I went to the psychic fair. So, anyways, I've been told I have healing hands, healing energy, which is green energy. I believe that's Archangel Michael, if anyone's interested in that stuff. But I've been told I had healing hands, so I had asked this lifeline reader if I had healing hands, and then she also obviously looked at my palm and my palm and validated what I had said, is that there was going to be an accident. And the second that she said an accident, and the thing that popped in my head was like a severe accident, like a huge life-changing accident. And then also I got a vision that I was getting hit by a car, like pedestrian versus car. So yeah, kind of crazy. But anyways, my point with bringing that up is that the pace of my recovery and how I feel, and my willingness to even share, which I don't usually share things like this. It's hard for me to open up to people and be very, very honest. But I just feel like this draw to share it, and so I'm doing so. And also, I guess when I think about the draw to share it, and even though I don't know where that comes from, I'm still looking at myself going, wow, I've been blessed with some kind of capabilities where it draws attention to me, whether it be for my looks or height or whatever, but I can actually speak about a good thing, and that's kind of how I tie it together my accents being a positive thing, because there's only positivity that's coming out as I'm pacing myself with how I'm dealing with people, dealing with things. I just feel like spending more time with myself, which is good, because that helps you to understand yourself, get to know yourself, and then you start to choose yourself just by default, doing things by yourself, doing things that you like by yourself. That also makes you happier as a person, and it helps you trust yourself. So I just feel like I'm in a good growing space. So I'm hoping that these YouTube videos will bring something good out of just my sharing this. I just feel like I should be doing it. I don't know. It's absolutely not for any kind of reward. It's honestly just because things, when you're young, some of us feel like we're invincible. And I felt like that. And not that I'm any older, I'm not talking about age specifically, I'm actually talking about just drinking and driving. Like that person that hit me, they're out there. You need to be careful. And life is really, really a blessing. And I could have lost my life. I mean, literally, I remember the moment before the car hit me, and I remember being on the ground after it hit me. Everything in between, I was in shock, but I was conscious. And the people that saw me during that time were impacted too. My best friend, Mom, he saw me get hit and the whole thing. And he was out with me that whole night. So it's very impactful. And hopefully, through just talking about it, I can walk people through my experience, and maybe help other people whether or not drink and drive or not feel like they're invincible, or not just take life for granted, or just take 1 minute more to think about something before they do it. That could prevent people from drink driving. Maybe it could prevent or convince someone to take a job somewhere that they were scared to take, or I don't know, just embrace the moment. Because even though I was conscious during that accident, 1 minute I was out, then the last memory I have is on the ground, with blood in my mouth. Then I'm in a hospital bed on tons of medication, and I had 3 surgeries. The third one, because of an infection caused by the second one. I've never been in the hospital before. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that I think that we can all make a difference in some way, and I think that this might be the way that I do. So, that's about it for today.